So you've learnt back stitch, so maybe you want to fancy it up and do something a little bit different, try something new. So whip back stitch uses a foundation of back stitch, so just a little consistent even stitches in a straight line. And then all we do is whip around it with an extra stitch. So this will end up looking a bit like a cord. It'll have a raised appearance, so it makes a really nice, just a single straight line if you want to stitch stems, but have fun with it.
So whip back stitch is just like back stitch except a little bit fancier. So what you want to do is stitch a line of back stitch. So again, we never start with back stitch, we never start right on the edge of the line, we start one stitch in. And keep your stitches an even length. And when you're stitching, try to go through either right next to or in the same hole as the previous stitch. Don't go through the thread. Right, I've gone a little way off my line, but that's okay. Okay, now to whip our back stitch, we are going to come up right on the end of that line, of that last stitch, and we're going to slide our needle under the stitch. So I'm going from right to left. You could obviously go from left to right, but I'm right-handed, so this is just a little bit easier for me. And I'm pulling my thread through. So the whipping is done entirely on the top of the fabric. You don't need to push your needle through the fabric. But the one thing you do want to remember with whipped back stitch is that if you're going from right to left, you want to consistently go from right to left each time you pass under a stitch. Otherwise it will look uneven. So you can see that I'm just passing my needle and thread under each stitch, going from right to left. Now once you've finished your line, to finish your thread, just pass it through the fabric right on that where that last stitch is. And that's whip back stitch. So you can see that unlike your flat regular back stitch, whip back stitch kind of creates almost like a rope kind of effect, and it's slightly raised.